Surprise! I traded in my Model 3 for a 2020 Tesla Model X Performance. Now, this isn't going to be a review on this car. I want to talk about my experience buying a used car directly from Tesla. The Model X, this is the older version, so it's been reviewed, it's been done. But I think we should sit in the car, talk about my experience with Tesla. When you buy them, it is sight unseen. You don't know what you're getting. You don't test drive it. You just see basic pictures online and you go and pick it up. Right when I drove off the lot, it was apparent that there were some issues with it. So I want to talk about my whole experience buying a used car from Tesla. I want to talk about specifically what went wrong, what went right. Did they take care of me eventually? Or is customer service from Tesla as bad as people say? So let's talk about buying a used car from Tesla. Let's talk about why you should do it. Let's talk about the pricing. And let's talk about, most importantly, my specific experience so you can see if you want to do it yourself. So basically, the biggest reason why people buy a used Tesla is because they want one now. The Model X in particular has been under a refresh for quite a while, and it's taking longer than the Model S did. So there's been a lot of people very anxious to get into a Model X, me included. So with a lot of used cars, especially a few years ago, you bought used because you wanted to save money. It was always taught to us when we were little and growing up, do not buy a new car. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates right away. You're upside down 20%. With Tesla, it's not like that. Just because there's such high demand for Teslas, you can't get one right away. If you go on Tesla's used inventory and price out a used model, whatever, and compare it to the new version, typically the savings are not there. This information may be outdated in the future when things change, but for me, the price I paid for this 2020 Model X Performance was very similar to MSRP on the original invoice. It's just how crazy it is. Now you have to remember though, when you buy a Tesla, it's sight unseen. So if you buy a new Tesla, you basically configure what you want. They ship it to you. It either comes to your house or you pick it up from a Tesla service center. All you know is that I'm going to get, say a red Model X with white interior, with this battery, with this performance. That's all you know. You don't know exactly what it looks like. Same for used, which could be a little bit problematic because obviously used vehicles are going to be in various conditions based on the past owners. So for me, when I looked at this Model X, initially all I saw was just the default pictures that you would see on the website when ordering brand new. I guess Tesla just doesn't bother doing it. They don't think it's worth the time. I don't know. But they do provide the VIN for you. So when you're looking at their used vehicles, they have the VIN there. So you can Google that VIN and try to find some recent pictures on this Tesla. You can kind of piece together the history of it. And that's the interesting part in my story. I would love to know the history of this Tesla because some weird things happen. Okay, so since you're just buying these used Teslas, sight unseen, they do take care of you. So for one, they have the normal Tesla warranty, but beyond that, they give you 10,000 miles or 1 year. So basically, if you buy a Tesla without a warranty from them, they're going to give you another year. And there's also something that they don't really post about on their website, but it was sent to me in email, and I took advantage of it. You have 24 hours or 100 miles to let them know about any issues, and they will take care of them. And I had some issues that they took care of, and I'll get into that in a little bit later in the video. And on their website, they do mention a 145-point inspection where they go over certain items. I would assume it's just a visual inspection. I don't think they actually test drive it thoroughly. That's just my guess based on my experience with my particular vehicle that I picked up. So the price, Tesla does not really, consider them used, good, great, fair. They don't price it like that. They put a price on the website and it automatically decreases in value periodically. And they just do that until it's sold. But if you go on their website, their used inventory, and just watch a model, they go quick. So for me, the Model X, I rarely saw 2020 models. It was usually 16, 17, 18. And I saw a 2020 Model X Performance near me. I had to have it. And keep in mind, they'll ship it to you anywhere in the United States. So I live in Southwest Florida, and the Model X I wanted was in Orlando. So pretty close. Most people may just drive to get it because it's like, I don't know, 200 miles away or something like that. I just prefer them to deliver it to me because it's easier. It costs $500. So I think the range is $500 to $2,000 depending on where you are. Okay, so now that I've talked about the basics, let me lay out my exact experience because my experience was little bit interesting, eventful. At the end, they took care of me, but I think it's fun. It's fun and interesting to point out because it could happen to you. December 7th at 4, I got the times. I got all the timestamps in the receipts. So December 7th at 4:40 p.m. is when I ordered my Model X. At 5:29 p.m., my financing was approved. So it's pretty much automated as far as I know. I don't know if they have someone on the back end just looking over stuff really quick, but it probably all depends on your credit score, your income, what you pay for your rent or your mortgage, all that stuff. But for whatever reason, they approved me pretty quick. That's great. Sometimes, people don't like shopping for cars because they don't want to go to a dealership and apply, and maybe it's embarrassing to get denied. So that's great about Tesla, used and new. Being able to apply in the comfort of your own home and getting an offer like right then and there is great. Just to let you know, I was approved for 2.49%, 2.5% through Wells Fargo. The loan for my Model 3 that I had before this was like 4%. So it went down, so that's great. And then at 7:41 p.m., so what's that, like literally 3 hours later, which that's really good timing, they sent me a quote for my trade-in for my Model 3. Now keep in mind, I bought my Tesla Model 3 long range in 2019 in like April, May. 2.5 years later, they offered me like $44,500. I know the used market is crazy. That blows my mind because my last experience with trading in a used vehicle, I bought a Chevy Volt in 2018. If you guys have followed my channel, you know, and I get picked on a lot on Twitter for buying a Chevy Volt, but I owned it for about 9 months. The amount of money I had to put down on my Model 3 just to like pay off the negative equity was insane. I don't remember because I blocked it out, but a figure like $18,000 comes into my mind. I did get a tax credit for the Chevy Volt, so that kind of reduces it, but it was super upside down. My Model 3, I also got a tax credit for. I got a $3,750 tax credit. So the amount of money that I paid to own my Model 3 for 2.5 years was very little, which, again, it's part of this used market right now, but Tesla itself is just in high demand. There's a long wait, so that used market, just goes accordingly. So far, 3 hours after ordering, I'm happy with my loan offer. I'm happy with my trade-in offer. I even throw in, just go to Carvana because I've had good experiences with them before selling a vehicle. They offered me like $30-some thousand. Tesla offered way more. And I'm not going to go private party because in Florida, if you trade something in, the value of your vehicle reduces your taxes by that amount. So me trading in, a Tesla for $44,500, it reduces the sales tax by that amount, So the next day, like early in the morning, like 10, 11 o'clock, I get a call from Tesla just, thanking me for ordering, letting me know what to expect. They said the whole process should take about 2 weeks. I was a little bit disappointed. I'm like, really? It's in Orlando. It's like 2 hours away. I could just go get it, but whatever. I knew what I was doing. I wanted it shipped to me. And then they sent me an email just laying out some ground rules. That email that they sent me is the one that said, let us know if anything happens within 24 hours or 100 miles and we'll take care of it. And really the only other thing to report is on the 13th. That was delivery day. So it was less than a week. So they basically under-promised and over-delivered. So I love that with customer service. Also, too, this was the first time that I got to experience ordering a Tesla and using the app on my phone. So the app on my phone is where, I accepted all of the terms. I got to look through all my paperwork. It was very simple. When I bought my Tesla in 2019, I recall there being a lot more just like standard paperwork, like the type of paperwork that you would sign at a car dealership. This was very simple. And also, through the app is how I made my down payment. So I did want to put a little bit more towards the vehicle. So I did that through my app. You literally just connect your bank account and it sucks it out right away. It is so easy. Never again am I going to a car dealership just for this experience alone. Like used or new, it is a plus experience from me. Just the buying and trading experience, it's great. So I get to the Tesla service center on the 13th. I'm excited to get my Model X. I take my Model 3. At first glance, the vehicle looks really good. I'll be honest, my dream Model X would be probably white interior with red exterior. So the midnight silver metallic, and this is actually cream interior. It may look, more white in the sun, but it's cream. It wasn't my first choice. But seeing the vehicle in person, like, wow, like, this is my vehicle? It looks really good to me. Just walking around, the rims looked fine, which I was kind of concerned about because they're 22-inch wheels. I was concerned about them being, having some curb rash, but I didn't see any that was apparent. They brought me my keys, and you're pretty much, like, stunned. You're like, can I go now? Am I free to go? It feels like something else should happen. But other than just waiting for a few minutes when I got there, I talked to somebody, I signed a few pieces of paper, like very simple papers, and I left. So this is where the bad stuff happens. So as soon as I got off the lot, I noticed some vibrating in the steering wheel and like my headrest. But I'm just like, okay, I'm going from a Model 3 with 20-inch wheels to a Model X with 22-inch wheels. Maybe it's just the big wheels. I've had people warn me, like, Jeremy, the big wheels are less uncomfortable. I thought, well, maybe the road. Because sometimes, a road will be weird and it will just vibrate. I thought nothing of it. Whatever. Let me just drive home. I'm super hyped to be in a new car. Because, like, a new car experience is great no matter what. I'm really impressed with the performance. Because it's the, Model X performance. It's got ludicrous mode. But on the highway, on the way home, I got an error light on the dash, and it was basically saying one of the tire pressure sensors was out. I was like, crap, I better not get a flat tire, because this will suck. But no, it was just one of the sensors was bad for whatever reason. But that day, because I'm thinking back to the email I got, I wanted to report these issues within 24 hours or 100 miles so they knew. Because I do not want to pay for something that would typically be out of warranty, like, I don't know. We'll discuss it in a few minutes. I put in the service request on the 13th, which was the same day as delivery day. Now, fast forward to December 21st, which was basically a week away, so that wasn't very long to wait. I can wait a week, it's fine. In the meantime, between the 13th and the 21st, I drove my Tesla like normal. It was typically around like 50 miles an hour where I would notice it. The steering wheel would vibrate. I could feel my headrest vibrating, and also I could see the passenger seat vibrating. Something was up. As I researched the topic, people were talking about a control arm problem was big with the Model X, so I assumed it was that. So I set up my appointments. The Tesla app is great. They text me in advance to let me know that there's no loaners available, so yay me, I get Uber credits, whatever. That experience wasn't horrible. It's kind of fun to have someone drive you around anyway. They also let me know in advance that since it is a vibration issue, you're going to be driving with the tech when you get there. And if they cannot replicate the issue, then you're out of luck. They can't address it. It's fair. That's fair because I had the Tesla for a whole week and I was confident that they would see the issue. So I get there, I drive around with the tech. I explained to him that, hey, I noticed it around 50 miles an hour. He apparently noticed it right away. He's like, oh yeah, I can tell. Sometimes these, will get soft spots in the tires if it's been sitting for a while. Whatever. I was very happy just to know that they saw the issue because Don't you hate it when you have an issue and only you experience it and it can't be replicated when it's time to be fixed? So I was happy about that. They give me my Uber credits, which it is $100 per day. So even though my house is like over 30 miles from the Tesla service center, I was able to Uber to the mall and get lunch. I was able to Uber home. I was able to Uber back to Tesla the next day. And I spent no money besides tipping the Uber drivers. So I dropped it off on the 21st. We all want our car to be done in one day, but it did not get finished until the next day, and I picked it up by 5 o'clock. I was very curious to know what happened. So when they first sent me the invoice on my app, it said like, replace all 4 TPMS sensors, replace the back wheels. And the amount said like $3,000. I'm like, bish, if you make me pay $3,000 for some wheels, we're going to have a problem. I was already feeling like kind of triggered, but I type in my phone. I said, due to the speeding issue that I noticed right after delivery, will it be, a courtesy? And they said, yes, it would be covered by Tesla's used car repair program or whatever. I obviously do not want to have a problem with a new vehicle, but the fact that they did, that much money worth of work, I'm basically getting 2 brand new wheels in the back. That's fine. I'm an easygoing person. The whole experience, despite it being bad, was great for me. But I can't help but wonder what the heck happened to this car in between the last person owning it and now. So like I said, when you order a used Tesla, there's a VIN and you can search for it. And I actually found this exact vehicle for sale a year ago. And the miles that was listed when it was for sale was 12,100. A year later, when Tesla had it, it had 12,845 miles. So that is 745 miles driven in a year. So what was going on? Was there a problem with it? Did someone just have it and it sat for a long time? And that's why I was having the vibrating? Like, was there just dead spots on the tires? Who knows? I didn't see any type of other damage. Like, I looked under the car. The underframe looked perfect. I didn't see anything around the bumpers. Every used car has a story. That's just the point. We drive a car to use it. We've all done something stupid to our car. We've hit a curb. We've hit a cone. We get into accidents. It's just what happens. But the fact that I had the vibrating problem, I had the tire pressure sensors go out a few miles after I left the dealership. Not dealership, Tesla service center. They don't have dealerships. It's just, I'm curious about what went on. But that being said, Tesla took care of me. So I guess the only negative thing about this experience is that it's sight unseen. You can't do a test drive of the vehicle you're buying. So say if you went to a normal car dealership, you would see a vehicle that you like. You can walk around it. You can check the interior. You can go for a test drive. And that's particularly important for used vehicles because if this vehicle was just at a car dealership, I would have noticed the vibrating right away and been like, no, I don't want it. And I just would have found something else. But with Tesla, you get it sight unseen, and then they address the issues. Same for the new cars, though. If you buy a new Tesla and you notice issues after the fact, you have to put in a service request, and they take care of you then. You could refuse delivery if you see something you don't like. But my situation, I already accepted delivery because it looked great and I drove off, and that's where I noticed it. But I don't feel like I was scammed. I don't feel like I have a crappy vehicle now. They took care of my complaint, which was the vibrating. They replaced both back wheels, which are very expensive on a Model X. The service was great. They updated me in the app. They kind of turned, a bad experience into a good one. So people say Tesla's customer service isn't good. I had great customer service. The only thing maybe I ask is I wish Tesla would maybe do a better inspection of their used vehicles. Was my vehicle not driven at all? They have this, 145 point inspection, but is that just visual? Because visually it looked fine. But when you drive it, that's when you notice the issue. Buying it, easy. Trade-in, easy. The whole experience, easy. It's just my particular used vehicle had some issues. It's going to be the roll of the dice. You know, any used car could have some issues. It may or may not be found before you get it. Tesla did a great job diagnosing the problem, updating me, fixing it, took care of for free. So I'm happy there. Also, too, do you want me to make any more videos on this while I still have it? Do people care? It's the old Model X. It's been out since 2016, essentially. It's really quick, sure, but for the most part, it's just outdated. You know, the interior is old. People know it. Do you care? Anyway, that's it. Let me know what you think. Bye.